Hello, everyone. Welcome back to WordPress Accessibility Day. My name is David Vogelpohl with WP Engine, and I'm proud to be your host for the session, Much Ado About Captioning Videos for WordPress and Beyond with Meryl K. Evans. Please feel free to add your questions to the YouTube chat feed, and we'll answer those at the end of the presentation. I'm honored to introduce Meryl and her talk, Much Ado About Captioning Videos. Born hearing free, Meryl's first encounter with captions came in 1983 when she received a closed caption decoder. Because she depends on captions to follow the video, she has seen the best and worst of captions. Fast forward decades later, Meryl's digital marketing career has come in handy in educating people about the benefits of captioning videos and captioning them well. When she started making videos, she wanted to caption them. As a self-employed professional, she worried about the investment to make that happen. Through trial and error, she figured out an effective process for creating awesome captions that led her to create the 10 rules of great captions. And here to share that with you today, I'd like to introduce Meryl K. Evans.
Thank you, David. Howdy, y'all. Before we start, here are a couple things. First, there are not a visual. If there is an accessibility issue with anyone needing information or clarification, please contact me. Second, I want to quickly mention audio description, also referred to as video description in AD. A narrator provides a description of key visual element in a video. While I won't cover it, it's important to mention because it's an accessibility requirement. Thank you, May, for bringing that to my attention. Third, thank you, captioners and sponsors. Captioners may the first be with you in captioning this accent. I'm Meryl with two syllables and rhyme with Peril, not Paul. I am a native Texan who lives in Plano, right next to Dallas. Though I was born hearing free, aka profoundly deaf, I am not capital D deaf because I am not part of the deaf community and I don't know sign language. To listen, I rely on lip reading in my bionic ear, which is a lot cooler than saying cochlear implant. Aside from being a caption pusher, I am a digital marketing freelancer. This is what my first caption decoder looked like. It was a clunky thing that sat on top of the TV. Little did I know it was going to change my life. We'll cover the other reasons to caption besides accessibility, because some don't think it's a good enough reason. Crazy, right? But that's reality. I see a lot of posts where people act that they should caption a video. Unfortunately, captions don't just magically appear. If only. Automatic caption don't count, y'all. Look at this auto caption. I definitely did not say that. So we'll dig into how captions work. You have many options for captioning your video. We'll cover those. And finally, great captions are more than just capturing the audio. Why should you caption your video? The number one answer is accessibility, of course. That should be enough, right? Alas, it's not. And the second most popular reason is to help second language learners. Many focus on these two reasons, and for some creators, it's not enough to justify their time and resources for captioning.
All right, we're just trying to get the screen sharing going.
All right.
So look at that. Okay, there we go. Awesome.
Yay! Sorry about that, everybody.
Yeah.
Technology, right? When you share the other reasons, it makes creators rethink captioning. Only 6% of the world's population is deaf or hard of hearing. Naturally, creators may think the audience doesn't inclusive group was too smart to bother. But they'll change their mind when you share that people who are deaf and hard of hearing are not the primary users of caption. A survey has found 80% of those using caption are not deaf or hard of hearing. Thus, you reach more people with caption. You want the caption because it greatly increases the chances of people watching more of your video. Lately, a lot of data has popped up that shows More people are turning off the sound, especially watching video in public. But what about if they're watching in private? A good number of them still keep the sound off. My youngest is a member of Gen Z, and he has ADHD. He does well with multitasking. He'll be on his phone with Nintendo while watching a captioned video. Many of his friends do the same thing, regardless if they have ADHD. It also helps those with language processing disorders and other differences. Some people with none of these differences say they use Caption because it helps them focus. Besides, even hearing can be affected on a temporary or situational basis. A cold and ear infection can change a person's hearing. Same goes for a noisy restaurant, bar, and gym. Masks are everywhere nowadays. A lot of people who can hear that they have a hard time understanding people talking with the mask on. What do Hulu, Netflix, Harvard, MIT, and Pornhub have in common? They have all been sued over the lack of caption. Yes, you heard right, I said Pornhub. A man sued Pornhub because videos were not captioned. He's probably one of those who read Playboy for the articles, right? Whatever floats his boat. Contrary to what these companies may think, it's not cheaper to deal with lawsuits over baking accessibility into the organization. Caption users are passionate. They will speak loudly and boycott brands. It can hurt the company's reputation. So the lack of captioning costs more than the lawsuit. Caption also increases brand awareness. Any opportunity to help people remember your brand is a must-do in those noisy rooms. And last but not least, when you close caption as opposed to open caption, Caption can boost SEO. Captions don't magically show up. They require two things: the video, the text file with the caption. Even if you use YouTube's automatic caption, YouTube usually creates a caption text file. You can download it and use it elsewhere. The way to add caption to a video is to create a text file that goes with the video. The formats that you and I will use most likely are SRT and WebCTT. There are tons of formats. The captions are in a text file that you can open in a text editor. The magic happens in the time code that tells the caption when to appear and disappear. When you play the video that uses the caption file, it's called closed caption. Since this is a text file, search engine can read it. That's how you get the benefit of SEO with closed caption. You have many options for adding caption to a video. I am sharing one example so you can see the process. This video shows you how to do it on YouTube, since it's free and most everyone has an account. This video will show you how to add caption to a video on YouTube. Go to your video on YouTube. Open subtitles to select the video you want to caption. If there's automatic caption, it will show up here. If you have a script, you can use transcribe and auto-sync. This is where you copy and paste your script. Let's grab the script to post it here. And set timing. How long this process takes depends on the length of the script and video. Refresh it until you see the captions are ready. You can see the caption are there from the script. Let's test the timing of the caption and the audio. Hey Meryl Evans here, creating a short clip to show you how to caption a video. You can copy and paste the script. Boom! Let automatic caption do the work and then edit it. You can adjust the timing by moving the sliders back and forth until it looks right. Hey Meryl Evans. You can copy and paste the script. Boom! Let automatic caption do the work and then after you've confirmed the caption are in sync, save it. Then you can download the file to use wherever you publish the video. 2 points. First, did you notice the line that the caption got shorter on the left? The length of the caption line matter. More on that shortly. The point is, don't rely on YouTube to set the length. The second point, at the end when I selected to download the video, I could download the SRT, CTT, or SBV. SBV is YouTube caption format. To add a video from YouTube or Vimeo to WordPress, just copy the video's URL and paste it into WordPress. No need for the caption file. However, you might need the caption file for other things, such as posting videos on LinkedIn or Facebook. Now, this is what the SRT file I downloaded from YouTube at the end of the video looks like. SRT is short for web subtitle file. LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Vimeo, and many other platforms accept it. You'll see it has sequence numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, followed by a time code. This video will show you how to. It's the first caption. It shows up when the video hits the first time code, and it goes away when the video reaches the second time code. Let's check out another format. This is an example of WebVTT file. It's modeled after SRT, but it takes caption a step further by allowing you to format the text, control the positioning, and other things. This is the same text in the previous example, except it follows VTT formatting. No sequence numbers like the SRT file, just the time code, showing the start and end time for each caption. Who wants to type others out? So what other way can we create a text file to add caption to a video? You have 3 options for captioning to create the text file. You can do it yourself with tools like I just did, use a company that offers captioning services, or find a tool that automatically captions the video and edit those captions. A lot of people ask how long it takes to caption a video. You'll hate my answer. It depends. The biggest factor is the length of the video and how much audio it has. Simply put, the longer the video and the more audio it has, the longer it will take to caption it. Let's quickly take a look at each one. The list of captioning tools is long, and these are just a few examples. The best caption tool is, depends on your processes and preferences. Personally, I use YouTube because it has the easiest user interface. YouTube also has automatic captions, but I never, ever rely on other captions, as I call them. They don't like my accent very much. You know who creates the best caption? Humans do. So thank you to the person captioning this right now. Some of these captioning and transcription services are 100% human. Some use automated tool called ESR, automated speech recognition, and others may use the mix of artificial and human intelligence. You submit your video to the server and they'll send you the caption file. The output and the turnaround time depend on the server. I'm sorry for the cuss word in the photo. I did not say that word. It is auto-correction's fault. Of course, the photo on the right has the correct caption. The accuracy in automatic caption is not good enough. Oftentimes, it has no punctuation and looks like one big blob of text with incorrect words. The good news, there are more apps to help you add captions. The bad news is they have caption formatting options that you can't read or distract you from the video. Captioning audio is only part of the formula for awesome caption. Quality is the other half. The reason why great captions are born is because they let the video be the star. They don't fight for the spotlight. When it comes to posting videos on WordPress, two things to keep in mind. One is to have player control with the start and stop button. No autoplay, please. Even I don't like it. It creates a better user experience when the user can play and stop the video. The second part is, of course, caption your video. You could upload a video in caption file to WordPress, but the markup is more involved than simply pasting the URL of a video into WordPress. Besides, your website server may have a file upload limit, and it may not be optimized for serving videos. While it means I have to depend on YouTube not going down, it takes some stress off my website. Most of you probably already know this process. This would be quick. These steps work for Vimeo and Video Pro. Here's what it looks like in WordPress. First, select YouTube for the block. Second, copy and paste the YouTube URL into the WordPress editor, and ta-da! Vimeo works the same way. If you added the caption on YouTube or Vimeo, they'll show up on your WordPress website. If you want to upload the video to the WordPress website, it typically requires using either HTML or adding open caption. Here is an example of HTML5 for adding a captioned video. Kind, which is highlighted in gray, the first highlight, can be subtitles or captions. I use subtitles here so you can see it needs to have a SRCLANG for each language. I use ES, which is Spanish. You can also customize captions with CSS. There was no one standard for great caption. You'll find guidelines for caption quality from the Ground and Caption Media Program, FCC WCAG Pro, which stands for Perceivable, Operable, Understandable, Robust. I created the Caption 10 best practices before I found these guidelines. The Caption 10 includes many overlaps with these guidelines and enhances them based on my experience. If you're like me, you know some examples. So here's the #1 rule of awesome caption, and this shows you why. One side contains great caption, the other painful caption I have seen in video. One thing to know, the right side has many different captions. Consistency is important, but I wanted to show you actual examples of what creators have used in their captions. The most important rule of great caption is readability. When people can't read the caption, none of the other rules matter. So make sure your caption, the text, stands out from the background, the theme, and any distraction. When you post your video, be sure to add #captioned so we can find it. Readability has 4 components: size, color, background, which is the color behind the text, and font. Captions without a background are hard to read. When I was looking for exercise videos, I found caption videos from two companies. Peloton won me over because they were more readable. The other one did not have a background. The next rule explains why I say auto-correction.
Hey y'all, Meryl Evan Digital Marketing Pro here to create a video so I can show you how to caption it. It will be interesting to see how bad the automatic captions are for this video. I call them auto-caption because they're riddled with mistakes. And they never, ever get my first and last name right. Auto-caption don't like my accent very much. It's not a British or a French accent. Rather, I have a deaf accent because I was born hearing free. This video should be long enough now to do the trick. Thanks for coming and captioning your videos.
Auto-captions are good for a few laughs, but they're not so funny when you're trying to watch a video. I often quit watching videos when the captions aren't good. It turned out many others do it too. They just write any kind of caption are not better than no caption. When you watch this next video, cover up the left side and see what happens.
White caption is synchronized. This means the caption follows the action on the screen. What is heard, what is said. Yes, we can tell when the captions are out of sync, even with the sound on, and it's dizzying. Make sure your caption follows the action on the screen.
How was that experience? As I said, I can tell when the captions are out of sync even when I'm not wearing my bionic ear. Yes, size matters. Here's why. Cover up the left side if you dare.
Hey y'all, Meryl Evans here with the caption tip. Yes, size matters. Really matters in great caption. You want to avoid having captions go one or two words at a time so fast that even the fastest reader can't keep up or absorb the information. You also want to avoid the caption going all the way across multiple lines. I've seen them go 3, 4, 5 lines long. You're so focused on reading that you miss the action on the screen. Goldilocks found the best answer, and that's the middle. Limit caption to 1 or 2 lines and aim for the middle of the screen. So, yes, size matters in good caption.
Remember the YouTube video where I showed the line length and breaking point are two areas I failed at in my early days of self-captioning because I let YouTube do it. Bad idea. Humans know best. Length has many factors, and videos often break this rule for any of these reasons. More than 1 or 2 lines make it hard not to lose your place while reading. And for 1 or 2 lines, up to 32 characters per line. As for alignment, the important thing is to keep it consistent throughout the entire video. Which position do you prefer? Top or bottom? In this one, you might want to hide one side for about 8 seconds and then look at the other side for the remainder.
Do you prefer top or bottom position? In captions, of course. The majority of people prefer them on the bottom. There is no scientific research or data to prove that. For some reason, when you look at the bottom, you can see more of the video. Somehow, when captions are up top, it seems like we catch less of the video. It's almost like our eyes tend to gravitate up rather than down.
Don't worry, your volume won't suddenly stop working. The video has no sound to show you the importance of sound. The left side shows the correct way to do it. The right side shows what happens when you don't caption the sound.
This was a simple video to show the importance of sound.
Noting silent or background music is so important. One episode of a TV show went on and on without captions. I didn't have my bionic ear on, so I wondered if I was missing a voiceover or a song. Don't leave viewers wondering if the captions are mucked up. At the start of a TV show, when introducing a star, the caption and the chime really overlap. In fact, many shows move the caption up temporarily and then bring them back down, or they move the chime above the caption.
Hey y'all, Meryl Evans here talking about credit and caption. They should never, ever fight for viewers' attention. They want to see both. I'll give an example. I'll talk about what I do. I'm a digital marketing pro who works with marketing leaders on their projects and tasks. A marketing manager may ask me to do is create a digital marketing plan. And they'll have me implement parts or all of the plan. Then they ask me to manage one or two aspects, such as email marketing. I may develop the social media marketing plan, manage it, or do social media ads. And finally, content marketing. Contact me when you need a marketing right-hand gal. Actually, I'm left-handed. Left-hand gal. Thanks for making sure credit and caption play nice with each other.
Now, let's take a look at what voice means and why it matters. I'm going to turn off the sound for this one. The caption will tell the story.
The best way to
The next time that singer showed up on America's Got Talent, it was terrible. Last time they didn't even caption the voice changer. You never want to confuse your viewers and have them wondering who said that. The quality of the video clip isn't bad. The irony is I was trying to replace it with a better quality video, but the captions were terrible. Take a look.
There are times when it's not clear who is speaking on a video. Sometimes the speaker isn't on screen, where two people speak and the captions show dialogue from both in one shot. Here are two different ways the caption shows this. The first clip uses the person's name. Take a look.
Wait! I don't know, was that the bear? It's me! You just left me! Oh, you weren't out there that long. You didn't get the food? I almost was food. Okay, I wish I never even came on this stupid trip. Well, who forced you? Gloria!
This next example put caption underneath the speaker.
Pair of sevens. Please, hi. Everyone, I'd like you to meet Don Lemon and RuPaul, a pair of black queens. Mitchell, that's the third time you've wandered over there. What are you doing? Nothing. He's got something in his mouth. Oh, yeah.
Letting viewers know who speaks the line is important.
The video showed all three of the examples for identifying the speaker. You can put caption under speaker when you use open caption or VTT, which allows you to control positioning. Here's the last one of the caption 10. This session is a live event. Like all live events, it uses scrolling caption. There can't be a order. However, I think scrolling caption in recorded videos that run live. Pop-in is easier on the eyes, less distracting, and most importantly, less people read at their own pace. These videos are not in sync. It was a challenge to make this. The left is the pop in and the right is the scrolling. I'm turning the sound off for this one. Accessibility should be reason enough to caption video. It's the right thing to do. Of course, that's not enough for everyone, and they're not all required to comply with the law. Captioning is cheap, definitely cheaper than a lawsuit. With other tools available, it's easier and more affordable. Caption expands your reach, boosts your brand and company reputation, and prevents lawsuits. It's possible to profit off Caption as Peloton did when I became a member, because it not only has Caption, but high quality Caption. Looky here, I'm talking about them spreading their name and brand. What can we do to get Caption to spread faster than COVID-19? If you see a Caption video, leave a comment thanking the creator for Caption and encourage them to use #captioned to help expand the video reach, or thank them if they use the hashtag. Next time you post your video online, use #captioned. It's a unique hashtag because it doesn't tell you the topic of the video, but rather the video has captions. One of the biggest barriers to captioning is not knowing what to do. Share captioning how-to and resources and guides. Captions have changed my life. Captions let me know what happened when I saw breaking news. They let me learn something new. They let me cast your story, whether it's on video or a video call. It was only recently that I ventured into the world of video calls thanks to Caption. You can learn more about that at Meryl.net/calls. Feel free to connect with me and send me your question. You can find everything and more at Meryl.net/caption. And I welcome any feedback on what could be added, removed, or changed in this presentation. Thank you for your time. I want to send a texted thank you and yeehaw to the WordPress Accessibility Day team for having me, to the sponsors for making the event and human caption possible, and to the amazing captioners who captioned first at them. Now let's hear from y'all.
That was awesome. Marilyn did an amazing job. It's super incredible. We're going to go to the questions. So I'll get the questions ready here for Marilyn, and I'll read it out loud here. So I've heard you present and mention Disney's Hamilton being so impactful with their users, or with their use of captions, because traditional musicals may not be as accessible as needed. Can you share another development in captioning or technology, i.e. voice to text on mobile phones, that has been impactful for you?
Well, the Hamilton's a big deal for me because I love that show and I love Broadway. Believe it or not, even though I'm deaf, I love musicals. And I knew I would never be able to see Hamilton on stage because it is so fast. So it was so grateful when Disney decided to bring us sooner. As for another development in captioning or technology, I had to state the video call that I mentioned, because before the pandemic, I never did video calls, because the couple times I did, it was a bad experience. Now I call my mom every week, I call a friend every week, and I join team meetings a couple times a month. Actually, I have one every week that I know. Next question.
Yes, great. All right, so the next question is, how do you, what do you use when you have lengthier dialogue for longer videos? This can be costly.
Well, my videos are never that long because I know people have too much on their plate. There's so many great videos out there, so I try to keep them short. But it just depends on the resources and what you have. I mean, captioning services are getting cheaper. One of them does $1 a minute. And I know that for a one-person business, a video that's 50 minutes long is going to cost $50, and that might be a bit much. So one way to do it is to try to do script, and then you can copy and paste the script. Oh, here's what you can do. If you use transcription technology, use it to caption your video. So let's say I have an app. I record my video, I let the app listen to the video and get the transcript, copy and paste that transcript into YouTube, and see how that works out.
Awesome. Next question. Can you recommend learning resources for creating effective captions for a beginner? Want to make sure I can learn properly.
That's a great question. I should recommend, unfortunately, I recommend you go to my Meryl.net/captioned, because I have a whole table of content at the beginning, and it covers the 10 things we just talked about. So you can go to where you need to begin. I haven't seen any that stood out to me in terms of teaching how, other than the resources I've provided, and I links to other resources.
All right, awesome. Next question. Is it better to use closed captions or open captions? Is there any reason to have both?
Excellent question. I always recommend closed caption because it puts the viewer in control. For example, if I don't like the font that they're showing, I can change it with closed caption. With open caption, you can't turn them off and on. You can't, if they're terrible, you can't fix them. It affects the readability. But if you see some of my videos on LinkedIn, some of them have open caption only because LinkedIn has lost the caption file on some of my videos. And for me, that's worse than viewer control, because I cannot have any of my videos not have caption, because I want to walk your talk. So closed caption is my first recommendation, because it lets the viewer control the caption.
Awesome answer. Next question. What company makes great caption videos that you really like, or they do really well?
Wow, no one picked out, I mean, those captions you see on TV shows are really well done, but that's how it's been done since 1983. There's a reason why captions haven't changed much, because it works. You don't want them distracting from the video. And as I mentioned earlier, Peloton, see, I'm mentioning them again. So their name getting out there, and I showed them over the other brand because I could not read the other brand caption.
All right, awesome. Next question. What is the most impactful place to start if you're just starting adding captions?
I guess my website again. I'm sorry, but there are captioning companies that do the captioning. They have resources, but I try not to be biased. I don't like to mention one over the other because I don't want to have that connection. I try to be objective. But if you go to the caption company, they have some good resources, and a couple of them are on my guide.
Awesome. Next question. Any advice for captioning translated content?
Ooh, that's a tough one. That's why closed caption, that's another advantage of closed caption, because it's very easy for somebody to change the language on there. So I would say start with closed caption with the English file, and then you can translate it to Spanish. And I showed that HTML example. So that's how you can offer example languages. And also YouTube can handle multiple languages as well.
Awesome. Next question. This is one of my own. I have so many notes, but if people only remember one thing, from what you presented today, what should that be?
Caption everything. But seriously, the second thing I would say is make sure your captions are readable. If they're not readable, all that hard work you put in the caption in your video goes to waste.
Thank you, Meryl.